Hey everyone, this is Tracy with Color Me This. We are on episode 77 today, which is day 2, working on this butterfly using the Marie's oil pencils from China. We are now working on, I stopped at the 45-minute mark and I see a couple of, we have one flower and 2 centers. And then I have a game plan for the background. I had to work with Hub on a couple of options, and after we finish, I'll share with you the mock-up that I did. So we are just going to get right into it. It is a little bit late today because we had some running around to do and got set back in the day. So Hub is off looking for fireflies, so I told him I would be coloring. I'm going to pre-apologize just in case he comes crashing through the door, forgetting that I planned on coloring while he was out and about. Okay, so I have this daisy, and it is going to be, I'm going to make it purple. I'm flip-flopping. These were going to be purple, but I'm going for the brighter colors. So this is going to be, actually, I would call it violet, not purple. So I am grabbing my violet color tones. Let's see what my cheat sheet says the color numbers are to make sure I have the right ones. I see that this is actually a purple. See what this is. 165. That is one of my pinks, I believe. That is so funny. Okay, so the barrel colors are actually quite challenging for me. Wait till you see what these barrel colors look like, and you will understand why it is a challenge. So these are my 4 violetish colors. To me, this looks like a pink. That's the only violet color. That's definitely a purple, and that looks like a brown. However, 23, 122, 32, and 97 make a light to dark violet blend. And this is actually a burgundy, the 97. So that's maybe somewhat close. So these don't look very sharp. I'm going to do a quick sharpen on them. I can hear that with the wood, this wood is a little, although it depends, because that one sounded really good. Some of these pencils, just a couple of them, sound like the wood, and I can feel a little drag on my hand. So the wood is stronger, harder, thicker. I'm not sure what the word is, but basically I feel them working harder on certain pencils. Okay, so we're going to work on our violet flower here in the corner. We will get onto the orangish brown centers. And then I get to start the background. I am not sure how long this will take. I have not looked at the next page, but I do have my luminance pencils at the ready in their own Lazy Susan. I am using I have 2 bamboo Lazy Susans that are heavier duty and they're very large. So my entire selection of 100 luminance pencils I have them rubber banded together I do not store them in a case. All of my pencils, one of my very early videos was me sharing how I pulled all of my professional pencils out of the cases that I had, which were the 250 pencil cases. And I put them out in the open so that I would be more inclined to use them. So they're all bundled. I have them rubber banded together by color family. So I thought if we have any extra time, I will get up and go get the Lazy Susan out and we can just take a peek at my swatches. I have not even used them for like doing color combos. They've never been on a drawing page. I only use certain colors, mostly the neutral, the percents of gray, buff titanium. Those types of colors are what I tend to use for my nature and animal portraits. So the idea of coming up with color combos will probably require that I tonight put together some plans and do some mock-ups and figure out what I will want to be doing. All right, so I am leaving a tiny bit of the white tips. I have a lighter pink that I might come in, and I even have a darker for this back section. This is definitely a purpley burgundy. You can see it darkening up, but I have an even darker, very dark burgundy that I might come back through and do some darkening. I wonder if you guys can see this. So I have found that I get a resist. It's like where they printed the lines. There's this resist between the line. There's like a white line and I have to work really hard to get rid of it. And this is not the only set that has done that. All right, so I'm gonna leave that as it is. I'm going to set these over here. I will do a fun orange on these small, and I even want to darken these up some. Okay, and then I do have my orange and brown. Maybe this is the 94. Oh no, that's a purple. Okay, so on this, and then the center here is going to be orange. Okay, so my brown is 112 and 013 is the orange. All right, that completes the flowers. And now I'm going to move to my background strategy. And I hope you guys are going to like this. All right, the main background is going to be very light. It is 060, and I am going to be doing a shadow line that is going to be 2 colors. It will start with 095, which is a dark blue, and then I will be doing a vibrant line outside of the dark blue line, and this will all make more sense. And I am going to be using, I believe this is 154. So these 3 colors will be working together to create the background that I have envisioned, and I am going to start with the light, and I am going to go through and just do a very soft I couldn't quite go with the sky coloring because these blue bell flowers are already that tone, and I wanted to have this be, like I said, my inspiration is World of Warcraft's ever more and more fantasy purples, fuchsia, green, very, very bright colors. And year over year, they keep getting brighter and brighter and brighter. And I don't know that these Maries will end up popping off the page quite like I think would represent World of Warcraft. So it might end up being a, like I said, later on in the book, when we hit the Prismacolor, something like a Prismacolor might do the trick. So I will have other opportunities to work on the vibrant color palette of World of Warcraft. Pardon me. I feel a scratchiness, like there might be. Seeing if I can see anything on there, and I do not see why it's noisy on that one side. See, now it's really quiet again. So I am going to start by making the whole background the lightest aquamarine color, and I'm not going to go in yet with my 2 other colors until I get this completely done. So these little round berries, I will be putting some sort of a jelly roll, sparkly shimmer, something. So what I find when I'm doing these backgrounds, I can, for these light colors, go right over the top of the dark colors And because they are somewhat burnished, this color won't even really adhere. Now, if I go on this blue, wherever I have white, that is the paper. It is very smooth paper, but it has a tiny bit of tooth. So anything I go over that is not colored with this will pick up some of the aquamarine. So I need to be careful around any of the flowers that have white edges. I will want to be careful with. I also found that between my moth page and the page that had this 6 circles, or is it 8 circles? Before the trucks, there were 8 circles, and they had 2 butterflies, a frog, and I did them all in the same color tones. So between those 2 pages, with me working on the trucks, I did not separate with a piece of the glassine, and I should have, and I knew I should have. So sure enough, some of the color of the moths, which are the dark burgundy, has transferred over. So I erased that tonight and then printed or cut some glassine. I have a big roll of it and have folded it down on both of the pages so that they will stay clean. So on my own time, I believe I am going to go ahead and take a blender pencil to this background because I want to keep it very soft and light. I'm also quite far away, so I might have to do some cleanup. So Hub is out looking for fireflies. We've already been out and seen them in the evening one other time. We have a bridge right down the trail that has vegetation along a water line. I think it's a canal. I don't know if it's a named canal or not. We're at the edge of the St. John River where the river starts. So there's waterways all through here. And that is where we saw them not long ago. So he was scouting. Since my parents will be here in just a few days, he's like scouting out whether or not we will be able to take them out to see the fireflies. And these aren't the fireflies like we see when we're in North Carolina at the Thousand Trails. These are like static electricity, bright white little flits of light, where the ones that we saw at our campsite, we could just sit and stare out into the trees and they would be meandering little warm lights type of fireflies. I do not know how many types of fireflies there are. Oh, I hear Hub, so we'll see if he comes crashing through the door or if he remembers that I said I would be filming. Okay, so we have the basic background. He's almost there. Oh, he's being quiet. He remembered. Okay, so we have finished roughing in the background. And now I want to start on what I want to do in all of these little sections between that you can see of these, right behind these flowers. There are all these little holes where the background shows through. And the same for up here, we've got these little areas that I want to darken a little bit. Not a ton though, just a little bit, like another layer of this color. All right, I think I got them all. And I want to be careful with this leaf area because in my mock-up I think I got it a little too dark for my liking. So I'm going to keep this pretty light up here. All right, so next I'm going to take 095, 085, 095, 095, and this is a navy blue. And I am going to I might even need my glasses to be able to see what I am doing clearly. I do know that these leave some crumbs, not a lot of crumbs. And it's not very apparent with the light colors, but is more obvious with these darker colors. All right. I'm sorry about the crackly glassine here. It's being noisy. All right, so up here, I had done something a little different. So I want to be careful. Can you even see? Did I creep too far up? Okay, so working on my shadow, I am going to, like I said, this part up here I had done differently. And so I had like 3 different possibilities. So this is my first fleshing out of these leaves this way. Keep creeping higher, don't I? You would think I would want this closer to myself. I think that's all of the shadow lines I want to have. Okay, and now I made those shadow lines as thin as possible. And I'm even going to bring in and do them in here. Okay. Okay, now I am going to take 154 and let's see if this works. My plan on 154 is to actually edge outside of the blue, the navy blue, just a little bit to give it a little bit of a glow. A bit of a glow effect. And I think it's working. trying to keep my pencil super sharp. I like that so far. But I hope I'm not putting big lines on the other side because of wanting this as sharp as it is. Okay, so that's that. I am now moving and going to do some of this edge glow effect on these leaves. And then right in here. I think I might have missed a couple of leaves up here. I see it. All right, so right in here, and right here. Okay, so the way this is going to work is I have a little more darkening to do, and then I'm going to be doing the second half, which is the mirror image of this side, on my own time, and we will have a final review of this at the weekly color review. Trying to get all of my glowy lines glowing. Okay, I'm grabbing back the 94 again because there's this line where the wing is overlapping the underwing. So I want to darken that up. I hope you guys are seeing the vibrancy that I am seeing. So I'm going in here and darkening these little squares up. I'm gonna go right in here and brighten these up just a little bit, but only in between. And in here I've already brightened all those up. Oh, haven't touched that one. And my only last question I have is right here. I have left it alone, and I've tried not to do shadows on the, the sun to me is coming from this angle down. So all of these upper sides of the leaves and the upper sides of the flowers and those leaves, these leaves, these three flowers, everything on the top, because the sun is coming down. So I'm being really careful to not overdo the lines. But now I'm just coming in here to any areas I think I missed or my lining was too soft. I want to make sure I have that dark line and then the aquamarine colored line. Okay, so I have to get some glow underneath these. And I'm going to come in here. This is that light color, 060. I'm just coming in one more soft layer. I'm at 41 minutes, so this will be my last task to finish, and then I will work on this offline. I will take a picture so that you will get to see the whole image as it is at this moment. As soon as I finish adding in a little bit more color here. I think I will wait to share my mock-up that I did with the different possibilities until the weekly review. So I don't want to spoil it. I will share that at the end after I share what the finished version of this looks like. So down here, again, I'm just going to add another light coat of this lightest tone. And I do plan to take a blending pencil over the top of this lightest part to smooth it out. I could do a blending pencil or I could do the white, either way. But I don't want the white to knock back any of this color because it's already so soft. So I am inclined to proceed with the blender pencil. Okay, so I will, we're shaking the camera with the, there. Okay, so there's the top part and there's the bottom part, and you can almost see the whole thing. And I will have a picture of this at the end in the showcase. And that is it for today's daily color. I am out of time to even share with you. Let's go peek at the next image though. We've got 15 seconds. All right. So again, here is our next image, which I haven't even looked at. I knew some sort of a house was coming up. We've got a house living on a mushroom. All right, so luminance is what we will use next. I will come up with a plan and we will get started on this tomorrow. Hopefully I can do this in 2 sittings. I have decided that anything that's the size of the butterfly or bigger, and this has to be the whole thing because there is no repeat imagery. It is a house sitting on a mushroom, so it'll have to be the whole thing. So we will get to work on that tomorrow. Let me know what you think. Do all the YouTube things, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And join me tomorrow for another day of coloring. We'll see you then.